Hey, what's up? Wes here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Now, it seems that just yesterday I was making a video to celebrate 50 subscribers, and now here I am doing one for 500 subscribers. Thanks to everyone that has watched my videos and has stuck by me to check out more of my nonsense. I really appreciate it. I'm really grateful. Now, I've met a ton of great YouTubers and other great people within the gaming community on this incredible run, and it's been pretty freaking awesome. Now, to celebrate this milestone, I'm going to do something a little bit out of the box for me. And if you've seen my videos, then you know that they tend to run a little bit long. So I'm going to challenge myself. To cover 10 games in 5 minutes. That's right, you heard me, 10 games in 5 minutes. Now, to help me time this challenge, I've actually enlisted the help of another good YouTuber friend, the Dali Popka, to give me a hand here. And if you haven't checked his stuff out yet, I highly recommend it. I'll actually leave a link to his channel in the description below. Alright, so I'm ready to go. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you Mr. Dali Popka.
Oh, hey Wes. Congrats on 500 subs. Yeah, I'm happy to help you out with your little project. But you are gonna tell Pepsi to keep Crystal Pepsi around full time after this, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna get right on that.
On your mark, get set.
Bad News Bears hit theaters back in 1976, and it wasn't until 14 years later that the long-awaited video game adaptation arrived to our living rooms in the form of Bad News Baseball. The game plays a lot like Atari's RBI Baseball, but with the ability to jump and dive for balls, which excludes the Major League Baseball license. The game was developed by Tecmo, so naturally includes any excuse for patented cutscenes and voices. One of the more fun baseball games for the NES, umpires are rabbits, and if you get tired of playing as pimply-faced prepubescent boys, you can also play as preteen girls. Yeah, we'll leave it at that. Men in grass skirts. Whew, that'll get those impure thoughts out of your head. New Adventure Island came out for the TurboGrafx in 1992, shortly after its Super Nintendo incarnation, and resembles the original more than either of its two previous sequels. Master Higgins returns once again in a true spiritual successor of Adventure Island, with similar challenging gameplay, new bosses, and a fantastic soundtrack. If you enjoy the first Adventure Island like I do, and miss the old school style that was abandoned in favor for its sequels, then this game is for you. Difficult, fun, and addicting, New Adventure Island is a must-play for fans of the series. Do you enjoy reboots of classic arcade games that add absolutely nothing to the franchise other than a black eye and leaves a rotten taste in your mouth? Then QBert Rebooted is just the game for you. Cheap-looking graphics, a forgettable soundtrack, and controls that you'd mutilate your family over? Sounds like a winner. With lackluster play modes and poor replay value, QBert once again lays an egg in terms of a sequel, and the most redeemable feature in the game is the ability to play the original. Oh QBert, when will they ever get you right? Space Harrier 2 was released by Sega as a Genesis launch title back in '89 and is a sequel to the arcade original. As a Space Harrier, you fly through 12 daunting stages of this challenging rail shooter, taking on hordes of alien baddies and bosses over a checkerboard landscape. The fast-paced nature of the game keeps you on your reflexes, shooting and avoiding anything that moves towards you, and is uncannily similar to and reminds me of the 3D battles of World Runner. Before Square was blessing the video game market with the likes of Final Fantasy, Square brought us this. But 3D World Runner is actually quite an advanced game for its time and place back in 1987. It's a rail shooter slash platformer hybrid, combining jumping along with power-ups to collect in a futuristic space adventure, borrowing elements from the aforementioned Space Harrier and even Super Mario Bros., only you want to avoid mushrooms here.
Mamma mia!
The first few stages aren't too difficult before the game just opens up to unrelenting brutality. But really, this game isn't too bad. The soundtrack was even composed by Nobuo Uematsu, but the biggest draw could very well be the 3D option. Yeah, 3D in '87, bitches! A gimmick often employed by Square, such as Rad Racer. A simple racing game developed by Square also in '87, Rad Racer was published by Nintendo and boasted some of the last black box art for the system. Rad Racer offered bare-bones simplistic racing with the choice of 2 cars, spanning an assortment of tracks in which to compete. While 30 years ago the game offered some hours of non-stop racing fun, by today's standards, Rad Racer is painfully subpar, and provides less driving action than Princess Di's paparazzi car chase. SNK was known for dabbing in the military action genre, and Prisoners of War was no exception. Released in arcades at the height of beat-em-up popularity in 1988, P.O.W. offers challenging 2-player simultaneous play. A more familiar and superior NES port was also released, but the arcade version was one of SNK's first games to climb out of the mediocrity hole, displaying hard-hitting sound effects complemented with exceptional visuals, building a foundation for future franchises such as the Metal Slug series. While P.O.W. definitely is not the best beat-em-up out there, it's solid, that's for sure, and showed at the time that SNK was a force to be reckoned with. Also released to arcades in 1988, N.A.R.C. was designed by Eugene Jarvis, the same madman behind arcade hits such as Robotron 2084 and Smash TV. The war on drugs was full on in the late 80s, so it was only fitting that a video game would be created to capture the very essence of one of America's most successful fights to date. I'll blast this junkie to smithereens to save his life. Whoa, 420, bro. More like 187, bitch. Wanna fuck that hole in your arm with a needle? Try this instead. Of course, arresting these unlawful curves produces more points.
You're busted.
But what's the fun in that? Looking for some good old-fashioned rootin' tootin' and lots of shooting? Well, look no further than Mad Dog 2, The Quest for Curly's Gold. The Lost Gold. Silly me. It's a sequel to the very first live-action Laserdisc video game, Mad Dog McCree. It's up to your gun-slinging skills to stop a gang of ruthless varmints, and on the way you'll employ the likes of helpful allies to stop this group of gun-toting lowlives. It's basically Hogan's Alley for Hicks. Yeehaw! And the game boasts of some real top-tier acting talent, I'll tell you what. And lookers, ooh la la. And of course, what would be a good Western game without some good old-fashioned racism?
This is bad, my friend. You must shoot fast at the firewater.
Remember the shoot first, ask questions later mantra of police forces throughout the 90s? Well, Konami made an arcade rail shooter game of it, and here we're going to take a look at the watered-down SNES version. The home versions included a huge phallic replacement of a gun called the Enforcer, which naturally no longer works on HD TVs. Thankfully, the D-pad can also be utilized in gunning down street punks, Chinamen, and pale-face airplane hijackers. The game is a lot of fun at first, but starts to get monotonous fairly quickly. Lethal Enforcers has all of the sound effects and music that we've come to adore from Konami, and even has the voice of the Blades of Steel guy.
You can't shoot me.
And conforming to an early 90s trend, digitized graphics were used to give Lethal Enforcers a more realistic quality to it. They should have just called the game
LA 92!
You went over, man.
Damn it! Well, I think I still did pretty good, but I'm gonna give it another shot sometime here in the future. Anyway, thanks a lot to the Dali Popka for helping me out with this project and for providing his comedic genius. Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone who's watched this video, and thanks to everyone who has shared my videos in the past, retweeted them, etc. I really do appreciate it. In fact, I have a list of people to thank. Too many to name off right now. I'm just gonna run a list at the end of the video, so stick around for that. And I also want to thank you for watching this video. Hope you come back to check out some more of my stuff. I got all kinds of crazy shit planned out, so look forward to that. Stay tuned. Until next time, I'll catch you all later.